put your cost of your building up there, you say $8 million, 8.5, and you see the design of that building, for every little bit of design you put in there is very expensive. I don't understand, and I'll never understand it, I can't understand the buildings that I estimate now, why the architects have to be so extravagant. You can save thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars just in design, if you just make it attractive, but not like whatever.
But looking at the size of your building, it looks like it's grown substantially since last fall.
A public hearing is required for us to bond to build a public works facility. And I've been saying that we're doing this process backwards. We should include the public in the beginning and not at the end after all we've made all of these decisions.
The problem is the appearance. It appears that it's less than transparent. It appears that there's a lack of willingness by this mayor to communicate with those most impacted by the facility. It appears hurried. We've been told that we've got to hurry and do this because the interest rates are low and costs are low. There appears to be objection to input from citizens that could help reach a more optimal solution.
I don't understand why it has to be so lavish. Take out some of those roof designs and frontal designs and things like that.
And the question that I asked the city council, you said we had 16 dump trucks, 2 of them that are used possibly in the summer. That means we're housing 14 dump trucks in a $7.5 million facility and not being used. It's very inefficient and poor management of your resources.
It's not just what we legally can do. We should look at what's right and what's right for this city. Once you build this facility, it's here for the long haul.
The old Weaver Highway is a perfect example of what a school should be built like. It's a school. You know, it doesn't need to have everything else.
I sent an email to everyone on what I thought we should do going forward, and said that I thought the strategy introduced for moving forward without public discussion was putting the cart before the horse. And that is why I very specifically announced in the closed meeting that I was refusing to commit to supporting this project because there had been no public discussion. I specifically said if I were an average citizen, I would have no idea that a multi-million-dollar project was even under consideration, let alone moving forward.
It's been said by 3 different individuals at different times to me, and once by somebody up here to some of the Barkers, that they want to get this through before the next election. Another concern I have is the process of this Public Works Committee. 3 council members can't be on a committee because that's what's called a quorum, and then you get the majority vote, right? And so they can do that without it being a meeting like this. So there can only be 2. Well, there's 2 council members on that committee. I was a little bit concerned about who was chosen as the chairman of the committee, which is Martha Harris's husband, and I'll tell you why. Because physically, we're keeping the law where Council Member Harris is not present in that meeting. But I think it's a huge conflict of interest. And I might add, Mr. Harris I have been very impressed with him, sharp as a tack. And I don't think he has done anything unethical at all. I just think it's a huge conflict of interest because what it's done is essentially you have 3 council members kind of on that committee. So is this going to be voted to be built? I would think it's pretty safe to assume so.
I'd like to say perhaps the best way to pursue this, since it's such a controversial issue, would be to let the people decide. Just present all the options. Have a vote.